in. Somebody who will be voting on all of those things, Congresswoman Claudia Tenney of the great state of New York. She sits on the Financial Services Committee and has a background in small business and manufacturing as well. Nice to see you, ma'am. Thank you for coming in on a weekend.
Thank you so much. I'm grateful to be here. Thank you.
Quick yes or no to button a couple of things up, and then we'll get into some of the issues. Government going to shut down or not?
I don't think so. I think the president is working hard to make sure that doesn't happen. I think you're seeing some polling that shows that everybody's going to be equally at blame if the government shuts down, but I'm hoping that they put plans in place to, when I see the budget bill, something that will work toward reducing our nearly $20 trillion debt, the debt clock, which is always shown in my Financial Services Committee meetings, and a serious problem with this country, but hopefully we'll continue and put measures in place to make sure we don't shut down the government, but we continue on our path to reduce the deficit, which is a threat to the United States.
Well, and the big question always is how are you going to reduce it? Where are you going to cut? Nobody seems to agree on that. Something else nobody on right now is the repealing and replacing of Obamacare, something that you've been passionate about as a small business owner. You've talked about the impact it's had, but still, Republicans have not been able to come up with a cohesive deal. And now there's talk of sort of rolling both of these things into one and trying to jam it through ahead of the 100-day mark on Saturday. Vote on repealing and replacing Obamacare, yes or no?
Yeah, I've heard the plan. I know the plan last time was a tough one. But I am so proud of my New York delegation. We fought hard to get a great deal for New York. I think it helps that we have the president who hails from New York State. We had a wonderful deal which included removing the local tax burden on our local taxpayers in New York State, which is something unusual and unique to New York. We were thrilled that that was going to be taken care of by the president. Hopefully we'll come through with another deal which will make it better. But honestly, New York State is very different than the rest of the country in terms of our Medicaid expansion, and that many
I get that, and it seems as though that you want something great for New York. Understandable, you need to fight for your constituents. The Freedom Caucus wants things that are great for their districts as well. Other people say, hey, look, we can't afford any of this. It's just too much spending. Is there a deal to be made? Because we know that the Democrats just seem to love saying no right now to this.
Yes, unfortunately they do. And I'll be honest with you, I've heard this said by Democrats. If you replaced Obamacare with Obamacare, we would still vote no because it's a Republican initiative. Well, so we would love to see.
Amazing. It's amazing what Congress people say to each other behind closed doors. There's all sorts of honesty going on.
Yes.
I want to get to this, which was really a touching moment in story you had with the president that involves your son. We have some pictures of the first lieutenant who's shipping off to Iraq not so long from now. There he is with his mother and a beautiful dog. And in the meantime, we saw this situation arise this week when you were with the president. Take a listen, and then we're going to let you explain it.
Okay, thank you.
Senator, how about you get the first one? Can you handle that?
I think I'll give it to the power.
Okay.
It's for my son.
Oh, that's even better. I like it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hey, great boy.
All right, so the Marine First Lieutenant is going to get a pen from the president to head off to Iraq, and he also got a phone call as well.
Yeah, it was a really special moment. I didn't know if it was appropriate to say anything, so it was just so wonderful of Senator Perdue to say to the president, hey, Congresswoman Tenney's son is a first lieutenant in the Marine Corps. He's deploying very soon to Iraq and Kuwait. Is there any way she can get an autograph from you? And I pulled out a piece of stationery that I had in my backpack, and the president said, absolutely. And he sat down and he wrote him a note, and then he said, can I call him? And I said, absolutely. To which I said, God, I hope my son answers the phone. And I called on my cell phone, and I said, will you take a call from POTUS? And I texted him that, and then I handed the phone to the president, and the president got on the phone and just said, hi, this is President Trump. I'm so proud of you. We're so glad you're serving our country, and where are you? Where are you going? We're just really wonderful conversation. And I was just, my son afterwards handed the phone back to me, and he was stunned. I mean, it was just a wonderful moment, and the president just showed, a soft side of him, how caring he is, how much he cares about our troops. It was just so thoughtful, and we're grateful, and I think my son remains just stunned today. And I'm going to be bringing him the pen that was handed to me. And again, Senator Perdue was so gracious in doing that. It was really wonderful.
Well, what a wonderful memory for a mom and for her son.
Yeah.
Godspeed to your son. We thank him for his service. Although I'm sure a lot of people are now after the president has. And thank you. The president right now on his way to Walter Reed Medical Center to meet some of those who have come back from battle as well. Congressman, thanks for being here. We really appreciate it. And